Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to your channel, Virgo. So let's talk about what actually creates fundamental life change versus what keeps you waiting for external rescue. Life doesn't reverse on schedule. A 180-degree turn means complete reversal. Everything that was true becomes false. Everything going wrong suddenly goes right. Total transformation of circumstances, trajectory, and experience. And that while it sounds appealing when life is difficult, it's not how change actually works for most people most of the time. Real change happens incrementally through small shifts that compound, through gradual redirection that eventually produces trajectory so different from where you started that it feels like reversal, but it's not sudden. It's not miraculous in the supernatural sense. It's just persistent effort finally producing visible deviation from previous pattern. So when content promises your life is about to do full 180, when it suggests complete reversal is approaching, it's selling you on drama that's more satisfying than reality. It's promising transformation that doesn't require the boring daily work that actually creates it. How long have you been waiting for sudden reversal instead of building gradual improvement? Count the months or years, honestly. Because here's what about to creates psychologically imminent expectation: belief that change is right around the corner. That transformation is approaching without requiring extended effort on your part. And that expectation, it keeps you passive, keeps you waiting for the moment when everything flips instead of doing the work that creates actual directional change. You're in holding pattern, not building momentum in new direction, not taking actions that compound toward different outcome, just waiting for cosmic reversal that will do the work for you. That's not faith. That's abdication of responsibility for your own life. Can you see the difference between trusting process and avoiding participation? One is spiritual maturity. The other is spiritual bypassing, because I need to address the expect God to work miracles framing. It positions you as passive recipient. It suggests God does the work while you wait and receive. It removes your agency from equation of your own transformation. And that positioning, however comforting spiritually, it's disempowering practically. Because even if you believe in divine intervention, even if you have faith in supernatural assistance, even if you trust that higher power is involved in your life, that power works through you, through your choices, through your actions, through your willingness to do difficult things and make hard changes, not instead of your effort alongside it, in cooperation with it. So expect God to work miracles while you do nothing that's not faith. That's passivity dressed in religious language. What are you actually doing to participate in your own transformation? Assess your action level versus your hoping level. Because here's what 180-degree transformation actually requires: complete reassessment of patterns that created current reality, honest examination of how your choices, habits, beliefs, and behaviors produced circumstances you're in. Not just acknowledgement that things are hard, but clear seeing of your role in creating or maintaining difficulty, and then systematic change of patterns, of choices, of how you respond to challenges, of what you prioritize and what you neglect. That's internal work. That's uncomfortable work. That's work most people avoid because it requires admitting complicity in your own difficulties. Much easier to wait for God to work miracles that reverse everything without requiring you to change anything. But that's not how it works. Divine assistance, if it exists, doesn't rescue you from consequences of your patterns. It supports you in doing the work to change them. Are you willing to do that work or just hoping for rescue? Your answer determines whether transformation is possible. Because I want to talk about what full 180 might actually mean. Maybe it means financial reversal, from struggling to stable, from barely making it to having margin, from debt to accumulation. And that reversal, if it happens through earning more, spending less, investing consistently, making better financial decisions over extended time, not through supernatural money delivery, not through cosmic wealth transfer, through boring financial discipline applied persistently. Maybe it means relational reversal, from isolated to connected, from unhealthy patterns to functional ones, from drama to peace. And that reversal happens through doing your trauma work, building communication skills, choosing healthier people, maintaining boundaries, showing up differently in relationships, not through perfect person magically appearing, not through others suddenly treating you better without you changing how you engage. Maybe it means health reversal, from declining to improving, from illness to vitality, from neglect to care. And that happens through nutrition changes, movement practice, sleep prioritization, stress management, medical intervention when needed, all sustained over time. Not through spontaneous healing, not through faith alone, through lifestyle changes you implement and maintain. Which area are you hoping for 180 inches? Get specific so you can assess what would actually create it. Because here's what people who experience dramatic life improvement do: they don't wait for miracles. They create conditions where improvement becomes probable through their choices. They don't expect God to do their work. They ask for strength to do the work themselves, for wisdom to see clearly, for support in maintaining effort. They don't hope for 180-degree reversals. They commit to 1 degree shifts repeated daily until trajectory is completely different. And yes, sometimes they experience what feels like miraculous breakthrough. But when you examine closely, that miracle is usually compound effort, finally producing visible result. The miracle isn't supernatural intervention. The miracle is what human persistence can create when sustained long enough. Are you looking for supernatural rescue, or are you willing to create your own transformation? One keeps you waiting. One keeps you building. Because I also need to address people in genuine crisis. If you're in actual emergency, if circumstances are truly dire, if you're facing real catastrophe, you need practical help, resources, support systems, intervention from people who can actually assist. You need to take concrete actions to address the crisis, not wait for God to miraculously reverse it without your participation. Prayer can be part of that. Faith can sustain you through it, but they don't replace action, they accompany it. So if you're in real trouble, if genuine 180 is needed just to survive, get help. Take action, use available resources. And if you pray, pray for strength to do what needs doing, not for rescue from having to do it. What concrete actions would address your actual situation? Take those instead of waiting for miracles, because here's what expect miracles actually creates in most people. It creates passivity disguised as faith. It allows you to feel spiritual while avoiding practical responsibility. It gives you comfort without requiring change. And that comfort, while it might help you emotionally cope with difficulty, it doesn't improve actual circumstances. So you feel better about your situation while situation remains unchanged. You have hope without taking action. You believe transformation is coming while doing nothing to create it. That's not faith producing miracles. That's magical thinking preventing improvement. Can you tell the difference? Your life circumstances reveal which you've been practicing. Because I want to address the miracle language specifically. Miracles, in traditional religious sense, are rare by definition. They're exceptional events. They're not expected regular occurrences. So, expecting God to work miracles, expecting supernatural intervention to be a normal pattern in your life, that's actually misunderstanding how most spiritual traditions conceive of divine action. Most traditions teach that divine assistance works through ordinary means, through your effort, through other people, through circumstances aligning in ways that could be explained naturally, even if you attribute them to higher power, spectacular supernatural intervention that's rare, and waiting for it as your primary strategy for life improvement. That's setting yourself up for disappointment while avoiding the work that would actually help. What if the miracle you need is just you finally doing what you've been avoiding? Consider that possibility seriously, because ultimately, here's what needs to be said. Your life might transform dramatically. You might experience radical improvement. You might look back someday and recognize that everything changed. But that change, if it happens, it will come through your choices, through sustained effort, through gradual redirection that eventually produces completely different trajectory, not through sudden 180-degree reversal, not through God working miracles while you wait passively through you, doing the work, making hard choices, maintaining effort, even when results aren't immediate. That's the about to that's actually true. You're about to transform your life if you start doing what transformation requires. Not someday, not when timing is perfect, not when God decides it's your turn. Now, today, through choices you make in this moment and every moment after. So stop waiting for reversal. Stop expecting miracles that require nothing from you. Stop hoping for transformation that doesn't demand your participation. And start building. Start choosing differently. Start doing the difficult work that creates the life you claim you want. That's where your power is. Not in waiting for God to reverse everything, but in partnering with whatever divine assistance exists by doing your part of the work. Are you ready for that? Or do you need to keep waiting for rescue that keeps you from recognizing your own agency? Because the miracle isn't God doing it for you. The miracle is discovering you can do it yourself with support you already have access to. That's the 180. Realizing your power instead of waiting for external power to save you, make that shift. Everything else follows. Life doesn't reverse through divine intervention alone. It transforms through your sustained choices partnered with whatever grace exists. Stop waiting for miracles that bypass your effort. Start doing the work that creates the life you want. That's where real transformation lives, not in supernatural rescue, but in human persistence, meeting divine support through your actions.